Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to show you all how to um, create the eye controller and controllers, plural, and also connect them properly. So first things first, if your mesh has the eyes combined already, go ahead and hide this one. I think this one has it combined. So if you have it like this from when we were texturing the character and unwrapping it and all that kind of stuff, we need to first separate these eyes from it, right? We need to make them their own mesh because they're gonna basically rotate and move independently from the actual character. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my modeling tab, and I'm going to go to mesh, and I'm going to go to mesh separate. So separate. And when I click on that, you'll notice right away it automatically, those are the only separate objects I have on this, it'll automatically separate the objects. Super easy to do. So then you would have to go in and just sort of rename it because it'll automatically rename it. Character base mesh 001, and left eye mesh, and then right eye mesh. Alright, so that's all there is to that. Once you have separated it, you can always do an edit, delete all by type, non-deformer history. Now, I'm going to bring back the original one that I had. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine these eyes. You'll see I already have them named. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these eyes, first thing, and I'm going to parent them right back here to this joint and hit P. And you'll see now when I click on these, they actually pull the attributes. They pull different attributes off of this. And you can't see it all because the constrain orient kind of finagles some things, but it is pulling that info from it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do a modify and freeze transformation, and I'm going to do that on both eyes. Alright. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go to create, NURBS primitives, and circle. And I'm going to rotate this at 90 degrees. Oop, not 80, 90 degrees. And I'm going to snap this directly over here. Okay. And I'm probably make it a little bit bigger. And this is going to be the size of the eyeball I have. The next thing, or the eye controller I have, I'm going to duplicate it and snap it directly to the center of this one. Alright. And now I'm going to select both of them and just drag them out. And I'll probably drag them out to approximately where my knee controllers are, I guess. Take a quick look. So it might snap. No, it'll only snap to that. So give or take about here. I think that's pretty fair distance. I could even go a little bit further. I don't know, something like that. It might help a little bit. And now I know that they're pointed directly at the eyes. Very, very good. So now the next thing I need to do is I want to make sure after I parented this thing and combined it and all that, separated the mesh and all that, the actual pivot point of this eyeball will probably more than likely end up at XYZ equals 0, 0, 0, 0. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by going modify center pivot. And now I just want to show you really quickly that you need to just make sure that it is, and I'm going to isolate just the eye. Just make sure that that eyeball is directly in the center, or that pivot point. Otherwise you can basically hold D and then slide it into place, and I would only use up and down arrows, holding D and V, and then you can just snap it, and then you can always snap it horizontally and vertically, and that'll snap it directly to the center of that eye, if it doesn't already do it when you do modify center pivot. So mine does, but sometimes it doesn't. And modify center pivot, and now I've got both of my eyes with the pivot point in the center of the object, and now I also have the start of my controllers. I can also modify freeze transformations on these at the moment. I can rename this L I CTRL and R I CTRL, and I'm also going to create one more, and Control D, and this one I am going to snap to the center. Okay, that's center enough. And then I'm also going to just scale it, and now I'm going to go to Control Vertex, and I'm going to select both of these and just bring them in, and that's it. And I'm basically creating that sort of like Robin mask again. And this will be my eyes CTRL. And I can also modify and freeze transformations on that. Now the next thing I need to do is, I hope I don't do this backwards at first. It's been a little while since I've done this. So the first thing I'm going to do to get the eye working is under my rigging tab, under Constrain. So I'm going to, let me make sure I'm doing this right. I'm going to select the controller first, then I'm going to select the eye. Okay. And then I'm going to go to Constrain, Aim, and I'm going to click the little settings box, and I'm going to do Maintain Offset, and I'm going to go ahead and click Add. And if I did that right, yes I did, you'll notice that the eye now moves with the character. Okay? Or with the controller, which is super, super awesome. Let's see if Rotate does anything. Rotate does not do anything, it looks like. Let me see if I drag it off. Nope. So I don't need to worry about the rotate, just the translate. Same thing here. I'm going to select the first controller, select the eye, then I'm going to go to Constrain and Aim. You can hit the little settings box, Maintain Offset, make sure that's on, and Add. And now you'll see that this one will also control the eye on this character. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take both of these eye controllers, and we're going to shift select the eyes controller, the one that controls both of them, or will control them, and press P for parent. And now whenever I want to just select and move one, I can move both eyes simultaneously without any issues. So it's pretty neat. And that's really the first part of the mesh that we have that can actually animate so far. It's just the eyes after all of that work we've done so far. But that is pretty much all I've got for you in this particular video. The last thing we can do, since while we're at it, we've been doing it, we're going to lock and hide, rotate, and scale on these. Lock and hide. Same thing here. Lock and hide. And then the same thing here. Lock and hide. And actually, let me see if... So rotate can actually be useful in this. So we'll keep that the same. We'll keep translate and rotate here. You get that kind of googly eye effect if you ever needed it. And we'll lock and hide just the scale. So now we've got both of these, all these controllers cleaned up and basically all set. So the last thing we can do is, now there's two different ways to parent this eye controller, because we need to parent it to the entire rig. You can parent it to the head controller, but I'm going to tell you why I recommend against that. I know I've seen it plenty of times before. However, when the head turns, your eyes don't always turn. Your eyes actually snap and lock on things. So this is why this way is really good. So when I have the head here, and when we get to it, the eyes, well, they're moving with the rig right now, but you'll notice that they're always staying pointed at that particular point. So that's a super useful thing. So I don't parent these to the uh, controllers over here. I parent this straight to the global control. And now I have my entire rig here also ready to rock and roll. And so far, that's all I've got for you at the moment in this video. So that pretty much wraps this one up. If you do have any questions, shoot me a message. And also, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching. And stay tuned for the next one.